Good evening and welcome. We start with some breaking news coming in from the United States. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden and his wife have tested negative for COVID-19. Biden and his wife were tested for COVID-19 after having shared the stage with President Donald Trump just 2 days ago. The former vice president wrote on Twitter, "I'm happy to report that Jill and I have tested negative for COVID-19. Thank you to everyone for your messages of concern. I hope this serves as a reminder. Wear a mask, keep social distance and wash your hands." Earlier today, President Trump confirmed that he and First Lady Melania Trump had contracted COVID-19, raising concerns that Joe Biden could also be at risk. Now, the breaking news coming in from the United States. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden and his wife have tested negative for COVID-19. Biden and his wife were tested for COVID after having shared the stage with President Donald Trump just 2 days ago for the debate. Former vice president wrote on his Twitter, "I am happy to report that Jill and I have tested negative for COVID. Thank you to everyone for your messages of concern. I hope this serves as a reminder. Wear a mask, keep social distance and wash your hands." Earlier today, President Trump confirmed that he and First Lady Melania Trump had contracted COVID-19, raising concerns that Joe Biden could also be at risk. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has said that U.S. President Donald Trump is experiencing mild symptoms after he tested positive for the coronavirus. He also said that the U.S. has a president who is on the job and will continue to remain on the job.
All of you know, the president and the first lady tested positive for COVID-19. They remain in good spirits. The president does have mild symptoms, and as we look to try to make sure that not only his health and safety and welfare is good, we continue to look at that for all of the American people. He continues to be not only in good spirits but very energetic. We've talked a number of times this morning. I got the 5 or 6 things that he had tasked me to do, like I do every single morning, and he is certainly wanting to make sure that we stay engaged. I think the other thing that is critically important, the doctors continue to monitor both his health and the health of the First Lady. We'll continue to do that. They'll be glad to provide some updates later today as we look at this. I think the great thing about this president is not only is he staying committed to working very hard on behalf of the American people. His first question to me this morning is how's the economy doing? How are the stimulus talks going on Capitol Hill? A number of us in the core team of the White House continue to get tested on a daily basis like we have been, and as we look to that, we're very excited about making sure that not only that the health and safety of the President and the First Lady is addressed, but certainly that we address this battle together as a nation together, and the American people can rest assured that we have a president that is not only on the job, will remain on the job, and I'm optimistic that he'll have a very quick and speedy recovery. When early on, when we first started to tackle the COVID-19 battle, we actually did 2 different things in the White House, a number of contingencies as we looked at not only additional testing, but certainly mitigating the risk for social distancing in private meetings and the like. But I think it goes to the broader question is even with a lot of the mitigating factors, Jim, what you have is a virus that is contagious, that that certainly continues to be, regardless of whatever protocol we have, that it has the ability to affect everybody. As you know, the president, we keep a pretty wide circle. All of you that have interacted with him know that. And so even with that wide circle around the president, we find that he's having to deal with this like so many millions of other Americans and people around the world have had to do.
For more on this, Nick Harper joins us live from Washington, D.C. Nick, thanks for being with us. Now, President Donald Trump is experiencing mild symptoms. This could be the most serious health issue for a sitting president in decades.
Well, bear in mind that President Trump is 74 years old. That firmly puts him in the age bracket that means that he is most at risk. That elder population are certainly always at risk to getting some very serious symptoms, as bad, of course, as hospitalizations and, of course, further on from that, death. The hope is from everyone that that does not take place. Also, President Trump's weight does not help him either. He is technically obese in terms of his height and weight, his BMI index coming out in the obese category. I think what we heard from Mark Meadows there, though, was very much a note of reassurance. Some very upbeat, positive comments about how the president is doing, saying that he had mild symptoms, that he was in good spirits, that he was very energetic, and that he would remain on the job. And that seems to be the messaging that the White House is trying to push at the moment, that they do have a president leading America who has COVID-19 symptoms, but he's currently still able to remain at work and working for the American people, that he's not incapacitated. Is trying to assure people as much as they can. There's even talk of potentially President Trump having a primetime address to the nation later on tonight. That hasn't yet been confirmed, but it would certainly chime with that idea of trying to reassure the American public.
Right, Nick. And what does this mean going forward for the next debate? Can that be postponed? And it is also barely a month to go to the elections.
Well, that next debate is in just under 2 weeks' time. It's in 13 days' time. In theory, the isolation quarantine period for the president would be 10 to 14 days. It does put that debate into doubt. As for the election itself, just 32 days away, it's very unlikely that it would be cancelled. It would need for Congress to pass a bill to cancel it. It's something that we've never seen happen in modern US history. And even if the president were incapacitated, remember that voting has already started in many states across the US with those postal mail-in ballots, and of course Donald Trump's name is on those ballots. So taking him off or even replacing would be very difficult at this time. Of course, the Vice President, Mike Pence, is the man who would step in if President Trump wasn't able to carry out his duties in running the country. It's a very different question as to what would happen to him as to taking over the presidential ticket. If President Trump, say, were to die, would Mike Pence, the Vice President, would he step up to being the presidential nominee? There are certainly very many unknowns at this stage, but the White House is saying that they hope that it won't come to that the president will be able to continue to be the president and he will continue to campaign. But bear in mind that will be very difficult for him. Less than a month to go, and yet for the next couple of weeks he's stuck within the walls of the White House, and all of those rallies that he loves to hold around the country, all of those have been cancelled for the foreseeable future. He will have to work out a way to keep his supporters motivated and for him to engage with undecided voters while doing that all online, virtually, from within the compounds of the White House.
Right. Nick, thank you very much for that report, bringing us all the latest out of the White House there.